You ready, ladies? This meeting of the Cleveland ISD School Board is called to order on Monday, April 21st at 6:01 p.m. If y'all will please join us, Mr. Sampson is going to lead us in opening remarks, and I will lead us in the pledges.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here together, we thank you for your endless goodness. We pray that you provide us with great wisdom and insight as we discuss our plans and make decisions about our future. We open our hearts to you and invite your Holy Spirit to our presence among us. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas flag.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Awkward.
Item 4 on our agenda is public comments. Do we have anybody signed up?
Excuse me, can you all hear me? Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes. Do we have an online public comment?
Yes, hi. I am the counselor, well, one of the counselors at Santa Fe Elementary, and I absolutely love this district and I love serving these kids. I've been here 2 years and my heart is here. And one of the reasons why I'm up here is to petition a survey to go out to the elementary staff members and counselors and admin staff requesting an elementary hour change. Currently, we are from 8 to 4:45, and I would like to petition probably a survey to go out for 7:30 to 4. These elementary hours are very difficult for me personally, and I know quite a bit of staff members that have expressed the same thing. And so, if that could possibly be made, that would be beneficial to me and my home life as well, so I can serve wholeheartedly here and my home. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This other is not a public comment. They were just signing in that they were present.
Item number 5 on our agenda, we have presentations. Our first is Student Achievements Presentation by Southside Elementary, led by Principal Ms. Joseph.
There we go. Good evening, board and cabinet and CISD family, staff, and community. My name is Deborah Joseph, and I am the principal at Southside Elementary. I do have my staff behind me, Miss Bowden, she's my counselor, Miss our RTI teacher, and then I also have our students in the back that are going to be performing. Okay. It's not working. No, the PowerPoint. There we go. So I wanted to take this time out. To recognize the different achievements at Southside Elementary with our students. So we put a PowerPoint together, and we just wanted to recognize our students' successes this semester. So today we're going to talk about our rodeo art, students achieving excellence, our CISD UIL competition, and our multicultural night. We do have an art show, slideshow, but because of time, we won't be able to go through the whole art show, but I am going to post it on our website, so you'll have the opportunity to go through our art show. But I do want to take the time to recognize our best in show. Miss Isabella Martinez is our third grader, Western Highland Cow, and her art was won best in show at the Houston Rodeo. So her art was in the Houston Rodeo. So let's give her a round of applause. So the next thing we want to recognize our students. We do have a new program at Southside called Students Achieving Excellence, and our counselor is going to share what that means.
Hello, everyone. So, as a counselor, my biggest thought was, what can I do to reach out to parents? How can I build relationships that are positive, and how can I motivate students to want to do well and to want to come to school and do the right thing every day? So I came up with the Students Achieving Excellence, or the SAE. And so the purpose of the SAE is to improve family communications and relationships and to boost the morale of the students by recognizing them for their hard work and dedication to school and to learning. So each month, every teacher gets to choose one student from her class who has gone above and beyond, whether it be academically, socially, emotionally, by showing leadership skills, or by improving in the classroom, or improving on something that they've been working really hard towards improving. So with that, I also wanted to build partnerships within the community to get them involved with our campus, and so I was able to get a partnership with the local Waterburger. So every month, Waterburger donates a meal to Miss Esther's, myself, and to the students who were selected as SAE students for the month. Our PTO also plays a huge role. They help us by decorating, and they will also be sponsoring a meal with Students Achieving Excellence at the end of the school year. So the outcome, the outcome is that parents all get a positive phone call home. The students are always excited to hear the parents' responses as they're being recognized, and the teachers are happy to select their SAEs because it makes them feel good to be able to recognize their students in a big way. So when they are choosing their students, this is just a sample of the form that I created for them based on their attributes, and they are able to choose at least 2 attributes per month per student. When they come to me, so I make the phone call to the parents. I tell them everything that the teacher has said about them. The students are presented with this certificate that we created. They get a pencil, they get a folder and another pencil from Waterburger, and with the parents' permission, we post their pictures on our website and on our campus social media accounts. And these are the pictures, or some of the pictures that we've taken. And then once we get to the designated day for our SAE, they come to the cafeteria and they get to sit and eat Waterburger, whether it's chicken strips or burgers. And that is Mr. Darwin, our Waterburger representative, with Ms. Esther's.
Thank you for sharing. Our next achievement is our Cleveland ISD UIL competition. I just wanted to bring that out because this was Southside's first year ever winning overall 3rd place for this competition. So when we got back from the competition, the student wanted to place their trophy when you walk into our building into one of our windows. So they were super excited because they never placed or won overall. So just want to give them an applause. So now I'm going to have Miss MacArthur to talk about our multicultural night and our performance. This is one of our biggest performance nights that we do have at Southside.
Good evening. Multicultural Night is a Title I activity with the purpose of diversity, where we invite the community to explore different activities and performance. You can see this is first grade. They represent in Italy, and they have a lot of activities according to the country that they representing. And this is pre-K representing Venezuela, and this they doing some maracas for the kids that they can work with. The other one is fourth grade. They're representing China, and they doing some China activities, and and this is Egypt. I think is kindergarten. And what else? Do we have more? We have a performing. It's going to be third grade with what is the name of the song? They're representing Mexico. Are they coming?
Good afternoon. I'm Ms. Vasquez, along with Ms. Estrada. Ms. Ashley is also accompanying us. We are the third grade, and we represented the multicultural night. We represented Mexico, and they are happy and excited to perform once again their dance from that night. So we're gonna start off. Ay! ¡Viva México!
Thank you, Southside Scholars. They are the true representation of Southside. No matter what we go through, they keep going and enduring. So can we give it up one more time for them? Thank you.
Thank you, Southside Elementary. Item B on presentations, we have a collection of kindness presentation by Jennifer Fishback from Santa Fe Elementary. Is she here?
Good evening, board. Can you see us?
We can hear you, not see you.
Come on. Oh, can you see us, board?
We have the presentation.
Okay, we're going to go through the presentation. If you'll go to slide 2. Okay, so today we're presenting a collection of kindness happening at Santa Fe Elementary. I'm the assistant principal. I have with me Ms. Valladares, our counselor, Ms. Seiler from 3rd grade. So some of the things that we wanted to discuss were the way that we started off our school year with capturing kids' hearts. We've really noticed that there's a lot of positivity going on our campus, which helped us create the winner circle at our school, and through that we wanted to continue our affirmations, which grew into a shout out program. So I'm going to have Ms. Seiler tell you a little bit about that.
So we started the shout out program as a way for the teachers to show their appreciation to other staff members and what they notice other people doing an awesome job at. And it's been a really good success. Our first month of doing it, we had like 100 submissions a week. So it was really great to see all the positivity. Some staff have even made competitions to see who can get the most shout outs. So it's been a really good way to promote positivity.
Next slide. Continuing the SFE climate and culture and the positive route, it was really cool to see how Ms. Fishback incorporated an awesome adopt a star for SFE. Ms. Fishback?
Yeah. So what we did on campus was our lower grades adopted a higher grade for our star, and so it's been really great to see the way that the teachers have come out and the students to create positivity. You can see here in the posters, they've given them new pencils for star, and it's just been something that has come out of the kindness of the teachers and the students and putting it all together, and we couldn't do it without their kindness for sure.
On top of that, we've been blessed with 2 amazing churches, United City Church from Humble and Methodist Church from Cleveland, who has come and sponsored us with breakfast, kindness quotes. The pastors have prayed over the teachers' boxes and just basically just blessed us with their presence to support us. And another thing that we love is to see our parents volunteer with the JAG story. Ms. Fishback will talk to you about that.
So with the kindness, we created the JAG Bucks and to go on with PBIS and support our kids and their behavior. But the parents have really taken ownership of the JAG store, and they come in once a month to take over the JAG store. And every student on our campus has a chance to go to the JAG store. So they're there all day with us and getting those kids in to purchase items with their JAG Bucks. Another thing that's not here, last week we were able to have the Easter Bunny on campus, again with our PTO. And we were able to get some money to raise for Teacher Appreciation Week. And we did get some money, so we're going to have an amazing Teacher Appreciation Week in a couple of weeks.
And last and the best, we have a couple of student ambassadors here. They're 4th grade students that have shown leadership, service, and I really wish you could see them because they're wearing their vests to show that these kiddos.
Do you think we could put?
These kiddos they stand out in the cafeteria. So I'm going to let them kind of share their experience as a student ambassador. Luis?
My experience as a student ambassador was very good. Indeed, it was really good because I could help little kids. And since I helped the little kids, I liked it because I could be an example for them.
My example is that I feel a lot of joy helping the little kids, and when they are happy, I'm happy because I got a dawn that I will always love kids, and I feel proud of them.
Yeah, you feel proud. Thank you, Delmi. Noah?
My experience as a student ambassador is good because you get to help little kids when they need help and they can't do their stuff. How I feel as a student ambassador is that I feel proud because I can help kids to learn by being good and to do their own things. The thing I like being a student ambassador is like when we get to line them up and all of that, and when we help them out when they have something to do, when they need help with something.
Can somebody explain at the end of the week, what do they get? What do student ambassadors get or receive?
We receive 4 Jackbucks when we're done with the ended.
Thank you so much. We're very proud of these students. Thank you.
Can we get a round of applause? Okay, thank you so much, board, and that's our presentation. Thanks.
Thank y'all for speaking to us tonight, and student ambassadors, keep up the good work. We are proud of you.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, presentation of private resale bid by Derek Mendoza from Lineberger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson.
Good evening, esteemed board members, superintendent, and Cleveland ISD community. I just have 2 bids tonight. Hopefully you have them in your board packets. And I'll read them off. They're for your review, discussion, and approval or disapproval. The first bid is on account number, property account number, resale bid 004820-000-009-006. The bid amount is $2,300. After costs are paid, being court cost and other fees, the school district would have a 6% recovery on that. This property's been held in trust since August 6th of 2024. The value at the time of judgment or tax judgment is was $9,980. The current value is $12,480. Do you have any questions on that? Or I can move on to the next bid and we can just
Any questions?
discuss both of them.
Okay, keep going, please.
Okay, thank you. The next bid is for property account number 005080000024-007. The bid amount is $17,500. After costs, the school district would get a 49% recovery, which is not so bad. And the property's been held in trust since August 6th of 2024. The value at the time when we took a judgment is $68,900. The value as of today is $82,870, so that's not a bad one. Those are the 2 I have before you. Do you have any questions for me on these or the process at all?
Any questions?
You happen to answer anything?
No, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Nothing further. Thank you so much.
Next item, we have the 25-26 Blue Bonnet Learning presentation by Monique Boone.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So I wanted to spend some time to talk about Blue Bonnet Learning, which is new for us around Texas, and a lot of school districts will be looking to either go with the Bluebonnet Learning or continue to use a different resource. So Bluebonnet Learning has been created or tailored to meet our Texas standards. And so with Texas, they wanted to come up with their own curriculum. So we have our, first I'll start with House Bill 1605 because this is the reason why we have Bluebonnet on the table. And it started back around right after COVID. And with House Bill 1605, it ensures that one, we as educators are using high quality instructional material. So with the use of or implementing 1605, there are a couple of things through the state that we have to do as a district. And that is one, ensure that we're using high quality instructional material, that we are using our state approved textbooks. It goes through a very rigorous vetting process for companies to actually get on the list. Also, it also includes some of our EMRA funds and how those are spent. And our EMRA funds are what we use on our instructional material. So with the high quality instructional material through 1605, Texas says that our materials that we use in our core classes have to cover 100% of the TEKS, and that it is okay to use supplemental or complementary resources, but not to substitute the high quality instructional material and Tier 1 instruction. And then it's just some things about our high quality instructional material. No matter if we use Bluebonnet or another approved vendor, it has to cover all the TEKS. We have to ensure that we are using evidence-based best practices in our core subjects such as reading, language arts, math, science, and social studies. Also, that our materials have to ensure that we are including or inclusive of all of our students, and that our students who are on grade level, students with disabilities, students who are EB learners, and then also our students who are identified as gifted and talented. And lastly, it has to ensure that there are assessments embedded and also that we have parent information available online for parents. And this just goes through some of the things that I said, but this is directly from TEA, ensuring that our high quality instructional material has been vetted and approved. A lot of the HQIMs, it wants to ensure that, one, we're doing grade appropriate assignments in Tier 1, that our instruction is continuously improving, also that we have deeper engagement with our students, and then also continuing with those high expectations with teachers by making sure they're provided with teacher supports with using the curriculum. And then it's just some more information through TEA, some things that we have to on our end ensure that we do. This particular slide, this talks about the full subject Tier 1 instructional materials. Again, all the things that are around in the circle ensures that students are getting the materials that are research-based and on grade level, and also that teachers are provided with the materials they need to be able to plan and teach effectively. With our high quality instructional material, these are some things that we have to ensure we have. Again, this is a checklist that we use for our teachers as well as our principals and APs to ensure that what the materials that we are using, it meets the components of for TEA. So we'll get to Bluebonnet. So Bluebonnet Learning, again, was established through our Texas Education Agency. And there are some terms that you'll have here, so that's provided. Instructional materials, that's the materials we use. You'll hear me say the OER, which is our open education resources. Those are resources that are free for us to use, reuse, and modify. Then we have our state board, so TEA took the open ed resources and they gathered, curated a list of things that are approved that we can use through Texas. And then they went on to develop Bluebonnet Learning, which is the state developed OER. Again, that is an open ed resource that is free for districts to use. So a little bit about the timeline. And this one is kind of the most confusing for people to understand is how did we come up with Bluebonnet Learning and why is this something that we want to use? There are 3 components of the Bluebonnet Learning. So you have the math, elementary and secondary, as well as Bluebonnet ELA. which it covers K through 5. But we are not doing the ELA component of Bluebonnet. We're only doing the math component. So it started out with Eureka Math for elementary and Carnegie Learning for secondary. Those are national companies. During COVID, and those are just national companies that we could choose from. During COVID, TEA said we want to ensure that all of our students are getting high quality instruction using material, and the national companies went and they did a lot of revision so that they could specifically focus on our Texas standards. So with the national companies, they tend to do Common Core because that's what's used everywhere else. Texas wanted to ensure that we had material that covered 100% of our state TEKS. So we ended up with Eureka Math TEKS Edition and then Carnegie Learning Math Solutions for Texas. And again, the national companies tailored it to ensure that we are using our text, that it's covering our Texas standards. So then they went a little further, and from the Texas adopted material, they used those sequences to come up with Bluebonnet Learning, which all it did is it took Eureka TEKS Solutions and Carnegie Learning Texas and just created the name Bluebonnet, if that makes sense. So it still has all of the components from the national produced material. It's just tailored to meet the needs of our students in Texas through our Texas TEKS. So again, this is just the timeline in Word format. We already use Carnegie Learning Math in secondary. We are wanting to bring, from the Bluebonnet perspective, our K through 5 through Great Minds, Eureka Math, that pathway. And again, Carnegie Learning Math, and then Eureka Math has been renamed to Bluebonnet Learning for Texas. With adopting the Bluebonnet material, we also get some additional funding. Here is a price list that you guys can look through, all the links. TEA does a great job of giving us a lot of resources and materials to understand it. But with using our Bluebonnet Learning, we are entitled to get $40 through our EMRA fund. So again, how we pay for those instructional materials, we'll get $40 per student, and then we'll get an additional $20 per student as well. So when we look at the cost of Bluebonnet, we still will endure some prices for it, or some costs with it, because in order for us to use Bluebonnet, again, the open ed resource is just the material. It does not include the digital components. So any of the PowerPoints, anything online, that is an additional cost. So I provided that there for you guys as well. Our elementary as a startup, it will be costly our first year because we will have to purchase all of the manipulatives and teacher tools that go along with it, in addition to our student resources. And because we are in Texas, we have the LASSO Cycle 3 grant. We were approved for the Strong Foundations planning, which will help us to be able to ensure our teachers are getting what they need in the form of using those Bluebonnet materials. So we did receive $180,000 over the next 2 years, and it tells us some of the things that they can help us with is ensuring our teachers are getting PD around using the resource, understanding math, and effective math instruction. So for us, we did get the math one. We did not get the ELA for ELA. And so what's next for us? Making a final decision on cost. So looking at our print and digital materials and how much that will cost, making sure that we are maximizing our monies there. Also crafting a plan to incorporate not just math, but ELA, science and social studies, and those RBs as well. Evaluating our complementary resources to ensure our teachers and our students have what they need, but we don't have too much. And then what does our professional learning and development look like as we move into summer and then go into next year? Any questions?
I have a few.
Okay.
I didn't see anything about teacher survey, community survey. Did you get any buy-in from anyone outside of your immediate department?
Yes, absolutely. So we did have several meetings where teachers, instructional coaches, as well as content specialists, they came out. So we had multiple companies come out and allow us to look at and preview their materials.
Can we be provided with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Additionally, you kept mentioning the LASSO grant as if it was exclusive to Blue Bonnet. Is it exclusive to Blue Bonnet materials?
No, it's not exclusive. Not the planning component is not exclusive to Blue Bonnet, but we did receive the LASSO grant.
Okay. Additionally, this would be a new thing for our teachers to have to learn, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Another curriculum, another platform, another thing for them to learn.
Yes, ma'am, because currently math at the elementary level does not have a high-quality instructional material.
What are they using on the reading side?
On the reading side, they're using HMH.
Okay, so does HMH offer a math component or anything so there's at least equity in the platform that they would have to use?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What is your implementation plan if we approve Blue Bonnet Learning?
So the implementation for that, again, is to get with the company. So with us using a digital component as well as the OER, then a company will provide PD, structured PD, and then not only does that train our teachers, but also our content specialists, our coaches, so that they continue to implement.
So we hear a lot from teachers that there are no PD days, and you seem to be dependent on the PD days that don't exist.
No, so we have district PD days, like we have one today, which gives our campuses option to get district and school level PD, as well as during PLC time. That's the embedded job PD.
But when will they be trained on the curriculum they're expected to start teaching August 9th?
So that happens during our pre-service.
And the pre-service is 4 days or 6 days? While they're also setting up their classrooms? And then we also hear a lot about iReady and how iReady is how we're using to do our TIA allotment.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Does iReady not offer a math component, so it's at least a familiarity if we are going to be testing them on iReady?
Oh, that's a great question. So they do now this year have a math component that we could possibly look into, but then when we look at costs, we'll lose that $715,000. Because if we don't use a Blue Bonnet, we won't get that.
So there's no other product but Blue Bonnet that qualifies for that?
Not for the additional $20 and $40.
So only Blue Bonnet?
Yes.
A highly controversial, untested curriculum is the only curriculum the state of Texas is saying we can use?
Yes and no. So with the reading component is a little bit different, which is why we chose not to use it. The math component, again, since it's through Eureka Math, it does have all of those components that they've used, tried and true, throughout the years, especially during COVID. So it's only elementary because secondary already uses Carnegie.
And did we do any post surveys on secondary and how they feel about Carnegie? Because weren't they only doing a pilot this year with Carnegie?
No, they've used it. This is, I think, the second or third year that they've had it in their materials.
And do we have teacher surveys on how user-friendly, how anything that they understand how they're doing? Because we know we always tend to have to restart training. And we're trying to avoid having to overburden and restart training every single year for our teachers because they are at their breaking points. And sometimes I think we sit in our offices and we forget about capacity and how many things they have to learn over and over and over again. So have we looked at any of the post-survey? Is Carnegie something that they are comfortable with and want to continue using?
So our math content specialist did do a survey over the material at secondary, which if we don't use that, of course, they will have to use something. So that's a new realm of training. So even if we used iReady Math, the new curriculum, they will still have to get training because they don't have the material already. They don't have a high quality instructional material already. We did do a pilot with Carnegie Learning Elementary this year with some second and third grade teachers to help kickstart the use of high quality instructional material for math in elementary. And so we did that. It turned out it was pretty well received. But again, doesn't matter which one we go with, they will have to receive training from scratch because they don't have one.
Okay. I would really like to see an implementation plan with actual dates and these surveys and things before I vote to agree to any kind of curriculum.
Any other questions?
to Superintendent's reports. Our first report, we'd like to recognize our baseball team. Let's stand up, gentlemen. All right. So the Rotary Club Baseball Tournament has been part of Cleveland ISD and the Cleveland community for over 40 years. The tournament began in 1984, and every year the tournament helps raise funds to award scholarships for graduates of Cleveland ISD and other local area school districts. 2006 was the last time Cleveland won the tournament. This year, our Cleveland Indian baseball team defeated West Fork High School in the finals to win the 2025 club tournament. So congratulations to our coaches and players. Your hard work and perseverance has paid off. Thank you for bringing home the title. Thank you. Yeah, they're so cute. Yeah, someone's ready. Okay, next item on the agenda. We have our Texas School Safety Center notice of our intruder detection audit that was conducted. There were no findings. Next item, student enrollment and attendance rate. We currently have 12,590 students as of Friday, and our attendance rate is at 92.15%. Early voting for Cleveland ISD School Board election begins April 22nd and ends on April 29th. Election day voting is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on May 3rd, 2025. Senior Awards Night, boy, it is coming fast, is at 6 p.m. on Thursday, May 15th, in the Cleveland High School cafeteria. We also have our financial reports, and we have our campus and department reports on pages 69 and pages 106.
Are there any questions?
And before jumping to consent agenda, we'd like to have the opportunity to introduce our recommended principal for Santa Fe Elementary, Ms. Nellie Ornelas, who's here with her family. Can you please stand? Ms. Ornelas is joining us from Purple Sage Elementary from Galena Park ISD. She's been an assistant principal since 2021. Prior to joining campus administration, she served in the roles of a paraprofessional, a bilingual teacher, and lead instructional coach. And we are beyond excited to have you join our team. Thank you. So now for the consent agenda. Starting on page 148, to approve the investment report.
Ready? Let me see what I'm looking. They're all together.
They're all together?
Yes.
Okay. The investment report, approved bills and payroll, and the minutes for the public hearing regular meeting of March 17th, March 24th, 25th, 29th, special meeting of April 7th, and the workshop of April 7th, and special meeting of April 14th, all on pages 263.
Do we have a motion to approve? A motion by Ms. Porter? Second by Ms. Pena. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Considered agenda items. First item, consider the approval of tax resale bids as presented by Derek Mendoza from Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson.
I have a motion by Ms. Porter, second by Mr. Sampson. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
To present and adopt a resolution recognizing and...
Hang on, it has them separate. We got to do them separately.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do I have a motion for the second account number?
Oh, that's right, it's two.
A motion by Ms. Porter, second by Ms. Pena. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Now we're good.
Okay. To present and adopt a resolution recognizing and affirming Cleveland ISD's support for military-connected students and their families, acknowledging the unique challenges they face, their strength, resilience, and exceptional character within our school community. An excerpt will be read by Ms. Allison Alpha.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Alex. In recognition of April as the month of the military child, we are proud to present this resolution honoring our military-connected students and their families. These students demonstrate strength, resilience, and flexibility as they navigate the unique challenges of military life. Currently in Cleveland ISD, we have 170 identified military-connected students. On April the 14th, our district proudly celebrated Purple Up Day. Staff and students wore purple in a unified show of support for these remarkable students. It is called Purple Up Day because purple symbolizes all branches of the military. Tonight, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting the academic success and emotional well-being of our military-connected students. We thank them and their families for the sacrifice and their service. And each campus will receive this so that they can display it at their campus.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adopt the proposed resolution?
I motion.
A motion by Ms. McNair. A second by Ms. Porter. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consideration and possible approval of Cleveland Middle School's turnaround plan on page 274.
Do I have a motion to approve the turnaround plan? A motion by Ms. Pena. A second by Ms. Porter. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. 4-0, sorry. You're against. Okay, thank you. All right.
Consider approval of resolution regarding superintendent hiring authority.
I have a motion by Ms. Porter to table this resolution. And a second by Ms. Pena. All in favor of tabling? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of the certification of provisions of instructional materials survey for the 2025-2026 year, page 278.
Okay, a motion by Ms. Porter to table this survey until we can schedule a workshop. Second by Ms. Pena. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consideration and possible approval of resolution authorizing acceptance of donation of real property from Colony Ridge Development.
Mm-hmm. So I have a motion to approve the resolution. A motion by Ms. Pena, a second by Ms. Porter. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of proposal for staff development minutes waiver for the 2025-2026 school year.
So we have,
Can I get an explanation of what this is?
Those are on our district, should be the District of Innovation. Let me look at this to make sure that that's what this one is about. We have so many days in which when we have our district staff development days, that we have to have so many minutes. That's professional development, because oftentimes campuses want their time, but it has to be scheduled for PD dedicated minutes. So even if it's an 8-hour day, so many hours of it has to be dedicated to PD.
And is this waiving the PD or protecting the PD?
It's protecting the PD.
Okay.
Because oftentimes they're like, oh, my teachers need to catch up, but they need the PD as well.
Okay.
And we get that. That's what it is, it's protection of the minutes.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
Yes, we want to make sure we're in compliance to the District of Innovation. Not to take away, but confirm it.
have a motion by Ms. Porter. Second by Mr. Sampson. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of the alternate graduation process for eligible former tax testers. Page 308.
Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Ms. Pena. A second by Ms. Porter. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of district budgeted purchases above $50,000, with the first item being the project requisition for service contract with First Choice Educational Solutions for special education testing for students, general fund for special ed allotment.
Do I have a motion to approve? A motion by Ms. Pena. Yep. A second by Ms. Porter. Questions?
Ms. Townsley is here to answer any questions.
Good evening, Board. We have had over 800 evaluations requested this school year, so we have primarily bilingual evaluations that we're needing to send out for contracted services. We do not currently have any school psychologists that are bilingual, so predominantly the two contracts, this one and the next one on the board agenda item, are primarily for bilingual evaluations. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, so consider approval of project requisition for specialized assessment and consulting for speech assessment and psychological assessment testing, general fund, special ed allotment.
A motion by Ms. Porter. A second by Ms. Pena. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of project requisition for construction management services to Lockwood, Andrews, and Newman, funding source general fund.
Motion by Ms. Porter. Second by Ms. Pena. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of project requisition for professional services to Huckabee and Associates, funding source general fund.
A motion by Ms. Porter. Second by Mr. Sampson. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval for project requisitions for summer camp learning materials for the National Inventors Hall of Fame for funding source gifted and talented state allotment.
A motion by Ms. Porter. Second by Ms. Pena. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of project requisition for exterior door camera and visual identification system district-wide to Dukes. Funding source SAPE grant cycle year 1 and 2.
Do I have a motion? A motion by Ms. Porter. Second by Mr. Sampson. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of amendment to project requisition for network operating center construction. Funding source, general fund.
We have a motion? A motion by Ms. Porter. Second by Ms. Pena. Any questions?
Why the increase?
We're having it, can you hear me? We're having an increase on this particular purchase because there was a miscommunication between the size of the UPS system that we currently have and the size of the generator that was spec'd out. We have a larger UPS system that has to be able to continue operating for up to 30 minutes. Therefore, that requires a larger generator. So we're asking for a 100 kW instead of a 50 to 70 kW that we previously had.
All
Any
those
other
in favor-
questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Any more questions?
Good, thank you.
All those in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Consider approval of project requisition to Region 4 Education Service Center for Professional Development Service. Funding source, LASSO grant years 1 and 2.
A motion by Mr. Sampson. Second by Ms. Porter. Any questions?
What is this professional development covering?
Tammy.
Instructional leadership, under the LASSO grant, we were awarded 2 sub-grants, the one that Ms. Boone spoke of earlier for the Strong Foundations Planning, and then a second one for instructional leadership. So we were awarded $186,000 for instructional leadership. And so with this, they'll be doing the Texas Instructional Leadership or TEAL training with our identified district members. And then it's a grant, it's a program that builds capacity and sustainability. So they'll be developing trainers of trainers that will then work with the campus principals, who will then work with their APs.
So who are the identified people who get to participate?
Right now, we have the executive principal, Ms. Smith, and our chief academic officer, Dr. Alex.
So we have a motion by Mr. Sampson and a second by Ms. Porter. Any more questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Okay,
All right.
item,
For me, I guess. I said this is for me, I guess. Go ahead. You want to announce it?
no, go ahead.
All right. I know. Let me find where we're at so I can. All right. Under State Board of Education rule, completing required continuing education each year of service is a basic obligation and expectation of any sitting board member. As board president, I'm required to announce the name of each member who has completed the required continuing education, has exceeded the required continuing education, and is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. The requirements for training are measured as of the first anniversary of the date of the trustee's election or appointment or 2-year anniversary of his or her previous training as applicable. There are 8 training areas for board member continuing education: local district orientation, orientation to the Texas Education Code, post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code, team building, additional continuing education, evaluating student academic performance and setting goals, identifying and reporting abuse, trafficking, and other maltreatment of children, and school safety. To the extent applicable to each board member, I will announce the completion or deficiency as to required training. For members who still have time remaining to complete required training, I will announce those board members who have scheduled timely training and those who have not yet scheduled the training. At the conclusion of this announcement, I will announce any board members' training in excess of the continuing education requirements. For local district orientation, the following first-year board members have completed the local district orientation training: Jennifer Pena, Bethany Porter, and Shaquille Sampson. Orientation to the Education Code. The following first-year board members have completed the orientation to the Texas Education Code training: Jennifer Pena, Bethany Porter, Shaquille Sampson. Post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code. No board members were required to complete the post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code training for the time period covered by this announcement. Team building. The entire board and the superintendent must participate in the annual team building session. The following board members were scheduled to complete the team building training requirement on April 21st, 2025. Amanda Brooks, Wendy McNair, Jennifer Pena, Bethany Porter, Shaquille Sampson, and Marvin Searles. However, with the recent resignation of one of our board members, we are currently one member short. Therefore, we've made the decision to reschedule this training after the upcoming election on May 3rd, 2025, when the vacant position will be filled. This ensures that our entire board can participate and benefit fully from the training experience. Additional continuing education. The following board members have completed the additional continuing education requirements: Amanda Brooks, Wendy McNair, Jennifer Pena, Bethany Porter, and Shaquille Sampson. The following board members are deficient in meeting the additional continuing education requirements: Marvin Searles and Willie Carter. Evaluating student academic performance and setting goals. This training must be completed every 2 years. No board members were required to complete the Evaluating Student Academic Performance and Setting Goals training for the time period covered by this announcement. Identifying and reporting abuse, trafficking, and maltreatment of children. This training must be completed every 2 years. The following board members have completed the biannual training on identifying and reporting abuse and trafficking: Jennifer Pena, Bethany Porter, Shaquille Sampson. The following board members were not required to complete the biannual training on identifying and reporting abuse and trafficking: Amanda Brooks, Wendy McNair, and Marvin Searles. School safety. This training must be completed every 2 years. The following board members have completed the biannual training on school safety: Amanda Brooks, Wendy McNair, Jennifer Pena, Bethany Porter, Shaquille Sampson. The following board members are deficient in meeting the required biannual training on school safety: Marvin Searles and Willie Carter. Exceeding required continuing education. Board member Amanda Brooks exceeded the required amount of continuing education training by 0.75 additional hours. Board member Wendy McNair exceeded the required amount of continuing education training by 1.75 additional hours. Board member Jennifer Pena exceeded the required amount of continuing education training by 1.75 additional hours. Board member Bethany Porter exceeded the required amount of continuing education training by 1.75 additional hours. Board member Shaquille Sampson exceeded the required amount of continuing education training by 1.75 additional hours.
TASB policy update, the second reading and possible approval of TASB policy update 124. They could be found on page 428 for you to read for a second reading.
Do we have a motion to approve the second reading? A motion by Ms. Porter, second by Ms. Pena. Any questions? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
At this time, the board will go into executive session.
We'll call a brief recess at 7:10 PM. Executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Subchapter D, Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.076.